Hey, okay, so now we're going to move into the practice problems. If you needed help, this is a little instruction to help you. So again, we're going to factor this trinomial. So our first step is to multiply our coefficient to our constant, and 3 times -5 would come out to -15. So now we're looking for factors of -15, which is -1, +15, -3, +5. On the reverse, we have 1, -15, and 3, -5. So which pair here, if we add them together, is going to give us +2? Well, -1 plus 15 is 14. -3 plus 5 is 2, so there it is. But just so you know, 1 plus -15 is -14, and 3 plus -5 is -2. So we're going to use the -3 and the 5. We're going to split up our 2 into -3x plus 5x. And then we bring down our other two terms. So we have 3x squared minus 3x plus 5x minus 5. All right, so then the next step is to group. Group your first two terms and your second two terms. Now again, we're grouping, we have to factor out the GCF. Now the GCF is not only x in this one, it also has a factor of 3. 3x goes into both 3x squared and 3x. So my GCF here has to be factored out. If you don't factor the 3x out, you will end up with unmatching factors. So it's really important that you recognize that GCF. Now the GCF between 5x and 5 is 5. So when you pull out that GCF of 3x, you're left with x minus 1. And then when you factor out that 5 GCF, you're left with x minus 1. And there's where you have your matching factor. X minus 1 times 3x plus 5. Now again, you could write it the opposite way. It means the same thing. You just can't flip-flop any signs or numbers. They all have to stay together. You just can flip-flop the factors. All right, make sure you pause the video and get this down, and we're going to move on to the next one. Okay, so for number 2, we're going to multiply our 2x by our 5. Our 5 by our -2. And you get -10. So two factors that multiply to -10, -1, +10, -2, +5. +1, -10, +2, -5. Add them together. These two sum to 9. These two sum to 3. These two sum to -9, and these two add up to -3. So which one's going to give us the +9? It would be these two factors. So we split it up to -1x, +10x, and you bring down your other two terms, -2, and bring down your 5x squared. All right, next step is group. When we group these two together, you're going to group the 5x squared and the -1x, and then the 10x and the -2. These have a common factor of x. These have a common factor of 2. So when you factor them out, you're left with x times 5x minus 1 here when you divide it out. And then 10x divided by 2 is, first got to put that 2 there. 10x divided by 2 is 5x. -2 divided by 2 is -1. So here's our common factor, your 5x minus 1. And then you're going to write your leftovers inside another set of parentheses. Okay, and again, you could rewrite it as 5x, just joking, x plus 2 times 5x minus 1. They're both going to mean the same thing, just written in a different order due to our commutative property of multiplication. All right, pause this video and make sure you have these notes down if you didn't get them. Otherwise, we're moving on to the next one. All right, on to this one. It says express 5x squared minus 22x plus 8 as a product of two binomials. That just means undue distributive property. Therefore, we have to factor to show that product. So your first thing is you're going to multiply your 5 and your 8, and it's +8, so it will be +40. So we're going to come up with our factors of +40, 1 and 40, 2 and 20, 4, and 10, 5, and 8. And now we remember it's a positive number, so we have other two numbers, two negative numbers multiplied to a positive. So -1, -40, -2, -10, 20, sorry, -2, -20, -4, -10, and -5 and -8. So which pair here is going to give me a -22? And that would be these two numbers here. When you plug them in your calculator, -20 plus -20, yeah, -2 plus -20 is -22. So we'll split this up, and I'm going to rewrite it this way. 5x squared minus 2x minus 20x plus 8. Now I'm going to have to kind of write it on the side because I'm running into space problems. Now we're going to group it, factor out our common factor here, which is x. And between -20 and 8 is going to be -4. Remember, leading negative, you have to put it down at the bottom as a negative. So the first one's going to be x times 5x minus 2. And the second one, I factor out that -4. I'm left with 5x minus 2, because 8 divided by -4 is -2. Here's our common factor. And we're left with 5x minus 2 times x minus 4. Or vice versa. You can write x minus 4 times 5x minus 2. They both mean the same. Okay, hopefully this helped. If you had an issue or any other questions, please don't hesitate to contact me. Thank you and good luck.